strategy has been focused on turnout and not necessarily on persuasion. Conversations last normally around 5 to 10 minutes. And voters remember the conversation for about 3 to 4 days afterwards. This is great for when it's like today, Saturday, and the election's on Tuesday, right? During GOTV, during the month of the election, that's great. It makes sense to sacrifice some quality of conversation for quantity. It makes sense to reach out to as many people as possible, considering that they're not going to, their mindset is on the election anyway. So if the value of any conversation you're going to have is going to make them 20% more likely to vote, naturally you want to talk to as many people as possible. But what do we do the rest of the year? There's 11, 10, 9 months of the year where we can really take advantage of all this time, build meaningful relationships with people, and try to build bridges with people where they weren't any before, or maybe where we don't even think it's necessarily possible as it currently stands. Well, what we can do, of course, is deep canvass. So, deep canvassing is designed to build, has an actual impact on bias in voters. It actually allows people to build an immunity to bias and the people that you talk to. This is tremendous because nothing else really does that. Deep canvassing actually impacts voting behavior for 9 months after the conversation. Again, a traditional canvassing conversation lasts 3 to 4 days. If you have a meaningful, values-based conversation with someone that lasts 20 minutes on average, is typically what you do with a deep canvassing conversation. It lasts for 9 months after the fact. I've seen as high as 11, I've seen as low as 5. Even with 5 months, you're talking to them twice a year, you've covered the entire calendar year. The average conversation, again, takes 10 to 20 minutes, but given the scale of the pros, there are definitely different ways to take advantage of that. And then I heard we mentioned texting. For a couple of people mentioned that they've been text thinking. There was one experiment conducted by a women's rights organization that was trying to utilize deep canvassing language in a text bank to gauge support for abortion rights. So really trying to deep canvass around abortion rights in states across the country, I believe, including Arizona, over thousands of conversations. And whereas a traditional kind of text outreach, which I'm sure we're all very familiar with, I'm sure we've all sent hundreds if not thousands of them, a traditional text with the language that we're used to has a response rate of about 1%, especially since the pandemic. The deep canvassing language that they use in these texts to really reach out to people and honestly ask them their opinion on this subject and really try to engage them saw a response rate of 13%, which is just, considering we're capable now of obviously sending texts out by the thousands can really change the game just in texting alone. And then another really exciting thing that I want to highlight here is that, for one, there's a couple exciting things within all these different experiments. But the thing